This is Get Sellers Calling You, and I'm Beatty Carmichael. Learn more at our website at getsellerscallingyou.com. Well, probably the most important thing we do with our clients with Agent Dominator to drive in business is the concept of outside perception versus inside reality and mastering this. We've actually spent about 4.5 years figuring out how to solve that problem. And let me see if this makes sense to try to explain it. So the outside perception of most homeowners is that all agents are the same. That all they do is they stick a sign in the yard, they list the home in the MLS, and they just sit back and wait for someone else to bring a buyer. And as long as they believe that, then it makes no difference who they choose because every agent's the same, and that means that they can choose any agent they want, and their home is going to sell in about the same amount of time for about the same amount of money. And as long as that's their perception, you'll never get the majority of those sales that they can generate. But over here is you, okay? This is your inside reality of who you are. It's the skill, the expertise, the tenacity, the drive you have in making the deal happen. It's the credible, validated, measurable performance that you actually do in getting more money for your clients than the typical agent. So here's the question. If these homeowners understood the skill and expertise that you have at the same level that you understand it about yourself, would this group of people realistically choose or refer any other agent besides you? Absolutely not. If they understood how good you were, they would choose you every time. And so what that means is that the difference between how many sales you are getting versus how many sales you should be getting is tied up in this concept of outside perception, their perception of you. And if you don't change that perception, then you'll never get all the business. Let me tell you a real story. Go back to 1900s, okay, early 1900s. There's a beer company called Schlitz Beer out of, I think it's Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they were number 8, okay? So if you know anything about market share, then number 1 has a majority. Okay, typically number 1 brand is always like 70 or 80% of the market share. Number 2 picks up another 15% maybe. Then you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and by the time you get to 8, it's just a sliver. That's where Schlitz Beer was, down there as a sliver. But they desperately wanted to grow. So they went out and hired a copywriter named Claude Hopkins. And so the first thing that Claude did is he took a tour through their brewery. And they showed him how they started with this special barley and how they triple cleaned their beer bottles with superheated steam to kill all the bacteria. How they use only a certain artesian well water. How they do this and that and this and that all the way through. All the levels of quality control all the way through to produce a bottle of beer and have it a consistent taste. And Claude comes out of this and goes, my gosh, this is amazing. Why don't you tell the public about this? And here's their comment. Oh, it's nothing special. This is how all beer is made. But what Claude realized that they didn't is that whoever explained it and educated the market about it first is the one that the market is going to attribute all that expertise to. And this is what happens with real estate agents. Most of the good agents say, well, there's nothing special about me because I do the same things that all these other good agents do. Well, that may be true, but the homeowner doesn't know it. And so whoever educates that homeowner first is the one that gets to claim that as their particular skill set. So what Claude did is he starts to write what we call long copy, okay, explaining each of these things about how they do their beer. Puts it in long copy articles in magazines and newspapers, and here's what happened. Within 18 months, okay, just a year and a half, they went from nobody, a little sliver, number 8, and leapfrogged everyone and became the number 1 selling beer in America. 18 short months. It may have been 24, but it's like 18 to 24 months. And the reason is because now people understood why to get a Schlitz instead of something else. So what we do is we actually take that same concept. We start to interview our clients and figure out what is it about our clients that make them an exceptional agent. Then we break it down into individual bite-sized pieces and we start to educate the consumer over and over again, one piece after another, after another, after another. So what happens then in that consumer's mind, we're talking about trust and top of mind is how consumers choose an agent. So what's happening is the trust level starts to go through the roof because they not only know you, it's your personal list. If you're targeting a personal list, it can be done with geographic farming or something else. But with your personal list, they already know you. Every one of these is showing off a sale, and every one of these is explaining your expertise that explains why you are better than the average agent. So now at the end of the day, they're just going, wow. And their outside perception becomes your inside reality, and now you get all the business. If you enjoy this training, please share our website you'll find right down here on the bottom left at getsellerscallingyou.com with other people. Also, be sure to subscribe to our weekly podcast. It's a 30-minute interview every week on everything you can learn about how to get sellers calling you. It'll absolutely put your business into overdrive. So you can subscribe to it at iTunes, at Google Play, and also at Stitcher. Thanks for watching and have a great day.